All right, so I'm here with one of Child Help's staff members. Would you care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Samantha Holloway. I'm a therapist here at Child Help.
Okay. And how long have you worked for Child Help?
So that's a pretty complicated question to answer.
Okay.
So I was actually a student for my bachelor's program in social work. And then when I graduated in that program, I went on to my master's program and was also an intern throughout my master's program, where I got to have my own caseload as a therapist. And then when I graduated there, luckily and very thankfully, they offered me a full-time job. So I would say collectively, I've been here almost 3 years.
3 years? Okay. And so you're saying like the first portion of that was like an internship?
Yes, for
Gotcha.
2 of those years. So officially as a therapist since May of 2023.
Awesome. So for 3 years though, you must enjoy Child Help.
I did. I like to call it very extensive training.
All right, so you being a therapist, obviously you work in close relation to the children. Could you explain what your job is?
Yeah, so as a therapist, we get a very unique perspective on the kids and the families. So I spend majority of my day working with kids one-on-one, and depending on the nature of what the kids' needs or the family needs, we include the caregivers in on their therapy sessions. And that usually is about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on what they need. So I'm really lucky and I'm really grateful that I get to spend that much one-on-one time with the kids and really get to love on them and pour into them, which what therapists do here.
Awesome. So being a therapist, do you have any specific certifications like EMDR and so forth?
Yeah, so currently I am a licensed master social worker, and I am focusing on trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, which is, I like to think of it as you take someone's trauma levels, so they have stress levels, which are here, which create big behaviors and big worries or big emotions, and we like to shrink it down to a more manageable level. And so that's kind of what TFCBT kind of does for kids.
Awesome. So would you be able to explain that? Say you're meeting one of the children for the first time. Explain it as if you were talking to them.
Yeah. So one thing that a lot of parents and workers and anyone in this field thinks that therapists do is fix kids, and kids need help. They're not broken. So what we do as therapists is we take their thoughts and their feelings and behaviors, and they might come to us with these big worries or these big fears, and we like to make those fears not so big to where they can handle it in their age-appropriate way. Mm-hmm. So for little kids, it can be playing with action figures and showing things that they've seen and reframing that to, this is how you have a healthy conversation or a healthy confrontation through play, because as we all know, kids communicate through play.
Awesome. So throughout 3 years, you've got to have some pretty amazing success stories. Would you care to share one of those with us?
Sure, yeah. I recently had a kiddo who contacted me and was really confused and was needing to have a therapy session, like out of the blue. It was not planned, and he seemed really confused and really worried, but he wasn't able to formulate his thoughts really well. And his teachers at school were confused. His caregiver was really confused on what was going on with him. And through sticking it out with him and trying to piece together what was going on in his brain, we found out that he actually had a medical emergency. And not a lot of people really realized that it wasn't something mental, it was actually physical. And through sticking with him and just, like I said, trying to piece together that those thoughts that were coming, we got him to the hospital, and he was able to pull out of it through some heavy antibiotics and support through the mental health team as well as the other agency that works with him. So that's probably my biggest success story right now.
Awesome. Well, that leads right into the last question that I've got for you. What makes Child Help so unique and special for you?
So for me, just the fact that we don't have really strict guidelines with how we interact with the kids. Obviously, we have boundaries and we uphold those boundaries, but we are able to really stick it out with the families as long as they need. If they need something and they need our help and our support, we are always there for them. And I think that's what really sets apart our agency from other agencies. I like to always say, we sit and mow with them if that's like what they need at the time.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. That is all I've got for you today. So I appreciate you talking to me and taking the time.